Thank you for having me.
We're just gonna have I just want to put my phones on flight mode
Sure.
because, yeah, we're just having a decent conversation. Since you're a fashion person, how do I look?
You look awesome.
Do I need?
No, perfect. Everything right there.
Yeah,
Keep it that way. It's
maybe
working.
that because I thought maybe the screen and
You
also the
think the
shoes as
green?
well.
I mean, you know what? There's always room for improvement, but you look great. For today's purpose,
Yeah.
it's the one.
Please tell me about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from?
Oh gosh, such a layered question. Like you, where do I start? I'm just a girl though. I
Yeah.
am just a girl. Like over everything, I'm just a girl. But I am from Enyoni, in KZN. I was raised by my gran in a beautiful village called Enyoni. I stayed with my gran till I was about 10, because my mom did have us at a very young age, and they thought it was a better idea if we stayed with our gran. And then we stayed with my mom when we were 31. So we moved from Enyoni, the village, to Richards Bay at about 11. My brother and I, my brother's a year younger than me, and we stayed with our mom, who's a single parent. And yeah, we moved from Enyoni. So that was a bit of a change. A big demographic change, but luckily even when we stayed in Enyoni, we did go to like a multiracial school nearby, so we were like we knew white people, but it wasn't something we were very familiar with. So I was a girl that stayed at home. I didn't go visit people's houses. I didn't wear pants.
2-3 things there that maybe they might want to know of what happened to you.
What's going on?
Yeah, like what this lady has. Let me just say this: your eyes look beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're even better than mine. Your eyes are like, a little bit
Fancy
bluish. Yeah. But yeah, tell me, what happened to you?
Weird thing happened. So there I was living my best life, right? Well, trying to live my best life. I just turned 30. And I was learning all this information, right? We are living in the era of information. And I feel like a lot of us learn the information and take it in. And part of the procrastination to move forward is taking in the information. I feel like I was at that stage of my life. I was learning about all these things that all of these people are doing who are much younger than me. I felt like I was so left behind. I felt like I was just really struggling. I was really affecting my mental health because I was pushing too hard. I was trying to personal train. I was trying to do a lot of things at the same time. And I was struggling a lot mentally.
Yeah.
And my mom, fortunately, and I feel so blessed that she is this way as a black parent in KZN, understands that one can have mental health struggles. And like it wasn't the first time.
Yeah, I know mental health is real, and it's something that we should really pray about because it comes as an attack, because there's a lot happening in our minds. And as she's explaining that it's like, when someone says I was at my peak and then this happens. So you see, so I think she's very brave. It's an inspiration. So yeah, because I can just imagine someone suffering from mental health, having problems with things that we know nothing about, and then you wake up one day and you look like this. It's, yeah, she must be very brave. And I know it has a lot to do with prayer, because I think on your own you cannot overcome this. This is very big.
Time I struggled with my mental health, I had struggled a few years before that, and she was the one who had suggested that I go to therapy. So at that time when I felt that struggle, I felt like therapy had helped me that time, and I felt like in the struggle that I was having, I would be able to sort of unpack what was going on and be able to move forward without all the turbulence that I was feeling. So I spoke to my mom about it, and I said that I feel like I'm really struggling with my mental health and I need to go to therapy. And that's what happened. I went to therapy, and the therapist that I was seeing could only see me for a few more sessions. We made the decision that it was best if I was admitted into a mental health institution because what I was struggling with needed a bit more work.
Okay.
So he got me admitted into a mental health clinic. And unfortunately, when you go into a mental health clinic, they will put you on medication. It's a hospital. They will medicate you. So I was immediately put on medication. And one of the medications that I was put on is a medication called Epitech. And within that medication called Epitech is an ingredient called lamotrigine. That is the ingredient that I reacted to. About 2.5 weeks after that, I was discharged from the hospital, and my dosage for that Epitech medication was increased to 75 milligrams. On that day, I started getting a fever, and that was the day I started reacting and having the reaction called Stevens-Johnson's syndrome and toxic epidermal nucleosis, which is what I ended up having. Stevens-Johnson's being like an example of what this looks like is the difference between Stevens-Johnson's and toxic epidermal nucleosis is Stevens-Johnson's would be like the HIV, and toxic epidermal nucleosis would be the AIDS. It's the worst version of it. Okay. So I started having that reaction on that day that I was discharged from the hospital.
So your body was rejecting the medication?
Yes, the body rejects the medication, and how it does it is basically your immune system attacks itself. And how it does that is by burning itself from the inside out. The layers of the mucosal membrane layers of skin separate through a chemical burn. So it'll start burning from, that's what I thought was a fever. My body had started burning itself from the inside out. So on that day I had the reaction started, but I was not told that that this was even a possibility. I would not have taken that medication if I knew that this was a possibility. And the crazy thing about this medication is that, so I was diagnosed with type 2.
And anyway, you wouldn't know, because there you are. You're in hospital, you put your whole life in the doctor's hands because you believe they went to school for 100 years and they're perfect and they know what they're doing, right? So you would never, ever, ever think that it would not even cross your mind that anything can go wrong, because you'd be there thinking they know what they're doing.
Bipolar. I was misdiagnosed. Let me just say that, because now I have my diagnosis. But I was misdiagnosed and put on the wrong medication, right? So I wasn't even supposed to be on this medication in the first place. And I would have not taken it had I known that this was a possible thing. When I have conversations with health practitioners, I'm like, how am I given a medication where the side effects are so much worse than what I was being treated for? You know, I would have never gone on it. So I didn't know that it was possible. So I didn't think that I was having a reaction to the medication. But I did realize I was having a really bad fever. I was burning up, right? Following day, I went to the doctor. The doctor said I had a fever. I didn't disclose to the doctor that I'm on this new medication because I didn't know. I feel like also we are a bit reckless when it comes to medication. We do need to do our research. This was my mistake as well, and I would suggest.
No, I don't think that's it. Obviously she would think that, because when you go, as I said, when you go to a hospital, you don't think anything could go wrong. You go there hoping. Actually, we don't even hope. We go there to seek help, and you just want to get well. You never on a precaution, like, oh, what if this goes wrong? And whatever they give you, you just hoping that it would work faster, and then you go home. Even if they can just admit you and you stay there for like 2-3 days or even a week or month, in your head, in your subconscious, you're like, I'm here to heal, I'm here to get better. You're not there thinking, oh, what if the medication is wrong? No. It's understandable how she thinks, because it's like, if only I knew. But when you go to hospital, you never think of it like that. It never occurs to you that they might be doing something wrong.
To the next person, that if you're on anything, the reason that note is in there is for a reason. Have a read, and decide if it's worth it.
But at that time, you were just trusting these people.
I was in hospital as well. I was in a hospital.
Exactly.
Have done the same thing.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, most of us would. I'm just saying this is a precaution that we need to do better with this. But I mean, I was in the trusted hands of nurses. I was being handed this medication, given a glass of water, and told to drink it every day. I didn't even have the box. Are you serious? No, I didn't. When you're in a mental health clinic,
you never have a box. I mean, you're in hospital. They don't hand you a box like as if you're in a pharmacy, Discount or Clicks. You're in a hospital. They hand you pills. They hand you water. Well, they do that in private hospitals, but in public hospitals, government hospitals, you don't want to know what's happening there, because they just stand over there. You're sick, you're ill, you cannot walk, you can't do anything. And I think, you know what? You have to walk to the nurse to get your medication. They don't care whether you're sick or not. You're crawling. Yeah, that's just how bad it is. Anyway, it's a privilege that she went to a private, it sounds like a private hospital to me.
Tell you this, they don't trust you to take the medication because some people don't want to take it. Okay, it's a very interesting place. Some people don't want to take it, so they give you the medication, they hand it to you. You guys stand in a line after you have lunch or dinner. They medicate you hard there. Okay, you stand in the line and they give you the medication and you take it. They wait for you, they watch you drink the water and give back the glass and open your tongue and lift up your tongue, and then you can go.
Pardon me, before you continue.
Of
How
course.
was it like there? I've never been there. And
You know
I've
what?
always asked myself, how is it like that?
It's a very cool experience. I won't lie. The reason I went back is because it was a cool experience. A mental health clinic is it's a rehabilitation center for your brain. Your brain is struggling, just like how you get sick and have flu and go to a doctor. When your brain is struggling, you can go to a mental health clinic and get your brain rehabilitated, right? But the levels are different. Just like in a hospital, you have people who are dying physically, and in a mental health clinic, there are people who are far off, where it's stable. And there are people who have gone through like experiences that they're going through a rough patch. There's so many people, it's such an interesting space. When you come in, it's just regular people. When you come in, they're like, hi, how are you? You tell them your name and they're like, yo, what are you in for? Because like a lot of people are in for like some people's like, I'm in for anxiety, this and this happened. Some persons like, there's people who lost people in like very traumatic ways. It's different experiences. And then there's people who are off the rails, like, who are there. They might not come back from where they are mentally, and so it's very cool.
Sure.
And you spend your days basically just talking about your experiences. The nice thing is most of us are strangers there, so the people you see there you probably will never see again. I mean, it's for my recovery, I've been on a lot of medication and it's been amazing, but it's also medication that put me in this space. So I went to a doctor the first day I had the fever. It just felt like I was having a really terrible fever. I was burning up badly. And I felt physically hot. Like it felt like a fever. That's the thing. Like, what do you think? When your body feels hot, it's a fever. That's all we know, right? And so I went to the doctor, and the doctor said I had a fever. But I didn't disclose that I was on this medication potentially. But my symptoms got worse very quickly. It went from like a fever, and that night I broke into hives. And every time I would scratch, like my skin would break out into hives. It would be like these blisters. But it started mainly like in my face and in my neck. And I was on Google that night. I was on Google the whole night, like trying to figure out. I knew something was definitely very wrong. I knew something was like very wrong, but I mean, what could it be? I didn't think that something like this existed. Like the horror that I experienced, I had no idea that something like that even existed. I researched and Stephen Johnson's came up. I do feel like the Black community is not very well represented on the internet when it comes to Stephen Johnson syndrome, because the pictures that were on there were mainly pictures of, maybe I should have searched Black person with Stephen Johnson syndrome, but I didn't know I had Stephen Johnson syndrome. It's just something that came up when I put down my symptoms. Fever at the time, hives, sore throat. My eyes were pussy. I did not know eyes could be pussy just randomly. But apparently, it the same way it chemically burns you on the inside, it starts chemically burning your eyes if they are affected. So that's why that was happening. I couldn't walk at some point. The blisters started to form underneath my feet. This is like in the second day. I could walk on the second day. It was just all of these weird things starting to happen. So when I looked it up, Stephen Johnson's came up. But I dismissed it. I dismissed it because I didn't even check that the medication could cause Stephen Johnson's until that morning. But when I checked that, I went back to the doctor again with my medication. And I said, I'm on this medication, do you think it could be Stephen Johnson's? And he said it was chickenpox.
Yo?
The same doctor I went to the day before, because remember, I was discharged from the hospital. The hospital was in Durban. I stayed somewhere else. So I thought maybe it was just the weather that was making me sick, because I had been in the hospital for 2 weeks now. I'm outside. It was winter. It was like August last year. So I didn't think it could be that. I think I chose, subconsciously said, not that, not me. But until I saw that medication could cause it, I went to him and I said, could it not be? And he said, chickenpox. I said, okay. But he said, if it gets worse, call an ambulance immediately. This man knows I have health insurance. Why does he just not send me to the because the thing with Stephen Johnson's is it's such a rare thing. A lot of doctors have never seen it in their entire careers. He's from a small town. He's been there his whole life. Because what would happen in the dreams is that I would have like a dream like that's probably trying to show me something, and it would get really intense. Like I would get really, I feel like it's a personal hell. Whatever you're scared of, in those coma, they call them coma nightmares. You will have that experience over and over again. The doctors did not predict I would be doing as well as I'm doing now. Definitely, I always think that it could have been worse. I could be blind completely. There's people that have had it that are blind. You know, so for the little vision that I have, I'm grateful. For everything that I have, I'm extremely grateful. So I'm grateful. I'm definitely grateful.
Did they tell you how they were able to eliminate the infection?
They don't know. They don't know.
I'm concerned.
It's such a, I mean, even with finding out what had caused it, because I was on a bunch of different medications, that also is not something that is 100%, you know. The thing with medication being man-made is that the body will always react.
True.
Whichever way it chooses to react. They can try and predict, you know, they do their best. They honestly do their best. But the fact that it can happen is also, you know, they really don't know. They don't know. They tried a bunch of things. They tried. They took me into, those doctors at that hospital and those nurses, they tried. It's because my mom was also there. Like, you couldn't let her down. She would tell them, like, my daughter's going to live. Like, they'd be sitting there trying to tell her, like, we've tried everything we can. We don't know. We are expecting anything at this point. And she'd be like, my daughter's going to live. I don't know. You know when you talk about faith like potatoes? That's my mom. That's my mom, 100%. She would just be like, my daughter's going to live. So please just go there. God is with you. You are a vessel of the Lord. She would tell that to the doctors. She'll tell that to the doctor. She'll tell them that you're a vessel of the Lord. The Lord is the one that gave me this child, and I have asked him to keep my daughter. So you just go and make it happen.
Okay. So that's all for today. All I can say is that I just wanted to share this video with you because it has really inspired me, and because I had a friend who suffered from misdiagnosed, and he's no more now. So I was really, this is very scary. What I know for sure is that her mom's prayers kept her alive, and her mom's prayers is like a motivation in her life, and the Lord kept her alive so that she can come on here and share her testimony. This is a very big testimony, and I hope she just finds peace if she hadn't found peace, and I hope that she also finds comfort if that is not what she had found as yet, and I hope that she keeps, you know, her trust and hope in God. And I would just like to say that everything that we do, we really need to put everything in God. Trust in God. Before you go anywhere, before you go to hospital, before you go to the doctor, before you go to the chemist, before you go to the clinic, pray about it. Ask God we need to ask God to lead us and guide us. I'm not saying this happened because they did not pray about it. Sometimes things happen in life for our testimony, for God, so that God's grace and mercy and power can be shown in our lives, can be manifested in our lives. And God lets situations come into our lives for the testimony of His power. Okay? That's why I understand that that's why I understand why and what it means when God says he loves all of us. Who else was supposed to testify of this kind of situation? Who else? Because we all have our situations, we all have our trials, we all have our tribulations. Some are bigger than others, but we all have a story to tell. So I cannot say, I cannot sit here and say, well, they did not pray, or well, that's why this happened, because faith and that and all of that. Anything can happen for the glory of God. God loves us, and it doesn't mean when you pray, it doesn't mean when your faith is big, or you pray 5 times a day, you fast 5 times a week, it means you are immune to trials. No, that's not it. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you that story, that testimony. It's a testimony, actually, a beautiful testimony. I hope that God continue to give this beautiful lady strength every day, and may she receive healing, complete healing, in Jesus' name. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. See you later.